I think you can hear me now. Hello. Welcome. I never thought that I would actually be on here on YouTube. You know, you watch people doing their thing, making live videos, and here we go. It sounds, yeah, I see that. It sounds like a lot of people know each other in the chat, which is pretty cool. So welcome. So this is a test run, and I want you to tell me if the sound is good, if anything needs to be tweaked, and I'll try to do my best. But here we go for the first live. So first I want to ask everybody how you're doing. Just put down in the chat how you're doing. How was your Thanksgiving? So here I did make a vlog video, and it was really nice. It was a really peaceful Thanksgiving. It's not a holiday that they celebrate here in Mexico, but it's an opportunity to get together, have a dinner with friends, and they all enjoy having the Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm spreading my white colonialist supremacy onto all of my friends. No, we're really lucky this year to have a turkey. Normally we just have chicken because turkeys here are very expensive, but one of my friends was able to get a turkey. You know, one of the things that they don't tell you about is that there's a delay in the video, so I'm kind of watching myself like maybe 20 seconds after I actually do something. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's interesting too with this whole project that I'm doing. I know I've said this over and over again, but just to reiterate it, I'm not here like, you know, on a pedestal talking to you as an inferior or someone that needs to come to me to learn something. It's just me opening up to another person like a friend. So, you know, maybe somebody else would, you know, get on the live stream and pretend to be, you know, all professional and not I don't know, and just go with the motions like it's totally natural. But I kind of want you to be a part of the process and know kind of what's happening behind the scenes, and yeah, and just be a part of what I'm doing. And everybody here, normally the people who watch these types of videos are people that have watched a lot of my videos and are kind of like part of the founders of the channel. So I appreciate everybody who comes on and supports. So I don't know how this is going to work. If I start reading some of the comments, it's going to be after the fact. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm talking if I say something too late. Let's see. Doing fabulous. This year's Thanksgiving was the best one yet. That's awesome. Sam and Sandro. Doing well, and hopefully my husband will be with me way before next Thanksgiving. I hope so too. Marcel. I live in Australia, so no Thanksgiving. That is true, but I am in Mexico. Being thankful transcends all cultures. First one for me, actually. Watched a few moments of one or two. Awesome. And that is my cat. That is Aslan. So we actually, here in this room, used to be Aaron's old bedroom. But then we went to the room in the back because right out here is the street. So if you hear random noises, that's what it is. And so I brought my bed, which is significantly better than Aaron's. Sorry. And because I know he's watching. And so we're going to sell it eventually. So we just had it up on leaning up against the wall in the back, and it was kind of in the picture. So now it's over. Actually, I can show you. It's over right there. You can see it, and that's the window. So behind the scenes, so I got a very interesting comment on one of my videos, and it kind of made my heart stop, and I thought that I would share it with you. Let me see if I can. So I get this comment on one of the videos, and this is how it starts. Hi, this is Mom. So it's not my mom's name, nor is it my mom's account. And I will go on with the story afterwards. But hi, this is Mom. And when I saw that, I freaked out. She says, and this person, maybe it's a guy, I don't know. Truly, my intention wasn't to attack you. I wasn't saying that you were weak or had no willpower. It's me who is weak. Rather, I was trying to understand why you gave away a treasure. But it's your journey and choice. Hope Blessed Mother will bring you back home. How would that make you feel if you heard that? So, let me know if the music's too loud. But yeah. So I messaged my mother right away, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I know that you told me before that you don't look at any of my social media, but someone said this message," and I sent it to her. And she said, "Of course not. Of course that wasn't me." Crazy. It did make my heart stop for a second. But then reading it, I thought, no, my mom doesn't talk like that. And she wouldn't just leave a comment. She would tell me, she would send me a message. Music is fine. Good. Yeah, so this is work in progress. I'm trying to, actually that whole intro, the countdown, I actually made that video. I had to go through a tutorial in how to make it on, because I'm using my boyfriend's computers now. He has 2 screens, so I have everything organized. And, but I had to make that intro, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yes, that is my art right there. I made a collection of 11 pieces, and it was inspired on the 7 the 4 cardinal virtues and the 7 deadly sins. So can you guess which one that is? It's lightly inspired. It's not a representation of what it is, but it's I think once you know what it is, it's clear, but it's not so self-evident. I didn't want it to be like, this is religious, but I think all art should have that symbolism in it, or why even do it? It sounds very much holier than thou, which is extremely annoying in my mind. In my mind too. And I don't know what the purpose was. Saying, hi, this is mom. Yeah, that that kind of creeped me out. Sloth. Think of it's kind of like a curtain or some sort of cloth coming down over the people. So no, it's not sloth. The one for sloth is definitely more evident. I don't know if I have... Oh, it's in the closet. So what I did was I made the collection, and I was hoping to sell them. And somebody that I knew bought 2 of the pieces. And then, but I wanted to do an exposition at different galleries, and it just never worked out. And then COVID hit, so that wasn't that didn't work out. Lust. I mean, I guess you could interpret that as a lust. Maybe like shielding the eyes, the reason, and making it more of like a physical thing. Maybe. It's actually not a sin. So maybe you'll get it. Maybe every stream I'll have a different painting up. That'll be my thing. And you can guess what it is. And then after 8 streams, I'll have to figure out something else. Is it pride, as the cloth of pride covers eyes? I mean, what the great thing about art that symbolizes something is that you can read into it however much you want to. You can, whatever you get out of it is a good thing. Even if it wasn't the intention of the artist, when you look at it and you think about it, it does give you something. And that's because art is a representation of things that are true. So if it represents something that's true, it's going to be something that's complex. So it's going to have so many different dimensions, and dimensions that the artist didn't even intend on being there, because it's a part of the nature of the subjects that are represented in the art piece. So yeah, I mean, you could interpret it as that way, and that's awesome. So good. But it's not pride. Well, at least that's not what I was thinking. So as I said, it's not a sin. It doesn't represent one of the 7 sins. It represents one of the 4 cardinal virtues. So prudence, justice, temperance, fortitude. All right, so I don't know if anyone's gonna get it. It's actually justice. That's what I was thinking. And it's not like a gay pride thing, but what I was thinking was it's an unveiling, like the curtains are coming up and finally there's the representation of what was hidden on the other side. A revelation of the truth. It's interesting, all of those paintings had something very, they were very closely connected to the decision to leave the Catholic Church and everything. They were very they were strongly connected with it because I started doing the paintings only a few months after leaving. I just had this like urge to do something, and I wasn't going outside. I was just working, and then I would stay inside, and then paint. I would paint. And it was like the beginning of processing everything, I guess. I don't know. So, I found a video on YouTube. Well, there's a lot of videos that I'd like to comment on. And I'm just not sure which one to do first. Maybe I'll do this because it's more artistic, and I think that would be maybe a little bit more. Let's see. All right. Welcome anybody who's new, who just came in. I finally got to your live. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. I'm glad you're here. All right, so I just want to get into this video and then talk about it a little bit, because I think there's interesting parts, and I think in order to not get a copyright, I have to pause it and comment a little bit, so it works perfectly with how I want to do it. So this might look a little awkward, but I'm going to move. Let's see. Sorry. Dun, da, da. I'm going into the corner. All right. Look how fancy that was. That was such a smooth transition. You know, I'm proud of myself for the first live. All right. So, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to... Let's see. All right. Ta-da, we're back. All right, so the name of the video is I Hate Christians. So one thing that I think is really interesting with a lot of the people that leave religion, I mean, it's not interesting, it kind of makes sense. A lot of people, they had suffering, trauma, whatever. And so there's a reaction that happens to that, obviously. And people think negatively of their past, and maybe that eventually becomes hatred towards the whole religion, or religion in general, all the people associated with religion, but you can, it's like when you can make general statements about certain things, but once you come face to face with someone, in an individual in the particular, that's when it's like, oh, okay, this is a lot more complex than that general idea that I had. And it's the same with you see people hating religion, and you're like, okay, they hate Christians, they hate Christian. You're like, okay, hate's a strong word that people use very lightly, but then you start talking to them, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of, I understand where they're coming from, although I might not agree with them in their conclusions. You can see the humanity of their decision. And I think this video is interesting. So we're going to play it and comment on it. So I Hate Christians. And the YouTuber is Jon Jorgenson. So just so I'm giving the shout out where it should be. So let's listen. I think I have the captions on. Okay. Just in case if you can't hear it.
I hate Christians.
All right. He hates Christians.
This common phrase rarely escapes the prison of my mouth, but festers and stews in the crockpot of my mind when I see you. You know who you are. Not all Christians, but those few. The parent disowning their gay son. The pastor blaming school shootings on the unrepentant sin of their congregation. The seminary student using his budding Bible knowledge to bully the seeking soul who now, thanks to you, feels that they have no place with God.
Okay. So that was a lot. So first we have, I was watching, I think I actually put it in one of my videos, the apostate video, where Bishop Barron talks about the reasons why there's a growing number of Catholics leaving. He actually makes a joke and says that if Catholicism is it has the most members, is the biggest religion, then the second biggest religion are ex-Catholics, apostates. But he says that a lot of people leave for things that you just can't change, like the church's stance on homosexuality, women priests, what else? Abortion, like different stances that the Catholic Church just can't change its stance on. And then there's other ones that he mentions that are more, how did he refer to it? Like they were secondary and things that could be changed, like, oh, I didn't like how this priest treated me, or oh, I didn't like the community, or oh, I felt like this, or no one called me, no one cared about me, or things like that. He made it seem like, oh, those are things that we can just change and, it doesn't matter. But he mentioned those principal things that people have a problem with, that the church is like, well, sorry, this is what we believe in, so you have to stay. If you want to believe those things, you can't be Catholic. And somebody with opposing opinions doesn't really, I would think, I'm not, if I have a different opinion from the group that I associate with, then that's a miserable position to be in. So he talks about, okay, the parent disowning their gay son. Okay. I've seen that a lot. I've actually, it'd be really interesting to see what the statistics are, but the amount of gay children that are kicked out of their house is ridiculous.
The pastor blaming school shootings on the unrepentant sin of their congregation.
Okay, that's interesting. That's something that I don't know if anyone else has. He has a very square jaw. I agree. And that's not a very flattering position to leave him in. I want to leave him in something different. Okay, that's a little better. So there was this idea, I remember, where it wasn't like karma, where there would be a negative, if there was a negative action, there would be a negative response. But there was this idea, and I don't know if anyone else has come across this in their church, in whatever their past religion was, but the idea that if you're not doing everything that you're supposed to do, then it's preventing certain grace from God, help from God, to come to you or to other people. So maybe it's like a negative way of saying that because you're not doing what you should be doing, these bad things are happening. All right. Have a good dinner. Thank you for stopping by. But there is that idea, and even so, I'm thinking personally for myself, when I was when I wouldn't do what I was supposed to do, what I thought I was supposed to do, I thought that I was setting myself up for not being strong enough the next time. So maybe if I had a temptation to do something, and then I wasn't as immediate to reject it, but I kind of gave into it. It kind of put me on a spiral downward. Like, because I hadn't done enough this time, because I hadn't corresponded with God enough in this, then the next time it would be harder for me to resist, and then it would just go downhill. And I know that with there's certain heresies, so there's certain ideas that aren't necessarily Catholic or Christian that sprout up. One of them is Jansenism, which is that your actions, that grace, so the help of God depends solely on your actions. So it wasn't that I was thinking of that. It was just, I knew that although there's so many details with religion and understanding like all these really hard concepts that sometimes it was just like, I just want to live a very easy life. Not easy in the sense of life is not going to be difficult, but why does it have to be so complicated? Why does everything have to be so complicated? And it's like, you're walking on this fine line, and if you're just human and you think another way, it's like, nope, that's wrong. You're like, oh, and then, and you're on balancing, trying to, and then you lose your footing, and then you fall down. It's just, it was so tedious sometimes, and especially going through the seminary and learning about all of everything. I'm very grateful for a lot of things that I learned, but it was this obsession with getting it right, knowing what the correct thing was, and obsessing over it. But anyway, so there was that idea that he's talking about.
The seminary student using his budding Bible knowledge to bully the seeking soul who now, thanks to you, feels that they have no place with God.
So, I think I definitely saw people who were in the seminary who kind of put on the persona of, I am a seminarian now, and now it's my purpose to go out and share to you the truth. And, maybe they were in 1 year, 2 year, and they're just, going home and telling people what they should be doing. Like, now that they've relocated into the seminary, basically, and haven't really learned anything, now they're just going to, tell everybody what they need to do. So there were those people. I don't think I came across a lot of people who were very, arrogant like this, like he's saying, but I don't know. People have different experiences. I met priests that were definitely arrogant, definitely. Disowned here. Luckily, my husband's family is wonderful. That's good. That's good. All right, let's keep going.
And every time I see you, I find myself scurrying, hurriedly reassuring I'm not that type of Christian. The stereotype, turned up way too loud, and I can't find the off switch for your hate. I can't turn down your judgment, and if I play it backwards, I swear I'll hear your hypocrisy speaking clearly. I nearly want to...
Okay. This is a spoken word poem, which sometimes those can be very difficult to penetrate. But I wonder if he is a Christian. All right, so that makes sense. Do you find Christians judgmental, hypocritical, arrogant, or even hateful sometimes? As a Christian, I do too. In today's spoken word poem, I address certain followers of the Christian faith who anger me, and yet it's not all hatred. Okay. So he's speaking, the way he's talking, it's obvious that he's distinguishing himself from those people. And there was even that. There was even like a hierarchy of, I'm not like those Catholics. I'm so much more with it. I have so much more knowledge, self-knowledge, or self-awareness that I know. I would never do that. I would never be like that. There's so much of that. And there's a constant battle to be the best. I was walking with Auron the other night, and we were going past a Catholic church. It's Mexico, so a lot of Catholic churches. We were going past a church. It was Sunday, actually. Oh, yesterday. Hello. And there was mass going on. And during the Mass, I think it was the consecration, so you had people kneeling, sitting, standing. People were doing all different types of things. And I told Adron that, it was really funny because there was always this like huge debate within all the churches about what was the correct thing to do at a particular moment. At this particular moment, do you kneel? Or is it 5 seconds later? Or is it 5 seconds before? Or, all these little details. And so in the parish, even if the priest said you kneel here or you do this here, whatever it was, you have the people who are like, nope, I am kneeling, or I am standing. It's a lot more obvious at the standing because everyone else is kneeling or sitting down. So, that really makes you stand out, but literally. But it's just interesting to realize that type of competition. I'm not like them.
To tear off the label altogether. Just call me a friend of Christ, a believer, a spiritual person. Anything to get away from an association with a nation of denominations without coordination, lack of integration, and substantiation. But where is your grace? Who's the last face you looked into and simply said, it's okay? But your face...
Okay. I mean, obviously, this guy is a progressive Christian, so he's probably has a lot of progressive ideas, progressive liberal ideas, and it's funny to see those progressive Christians trying to remain within the structure, but push everything to the limits and beyond, and to justify it. I watched a few videos from different really popular channels here on YouTube, and it's like they're always they really have to justify their position, like rationalize their position for themselves, and they constantly go back to it. Like, I think that I believe in gay rights, and this is why I did it, and it's like they have to give so many references to say, yeah, that, oh, and this reading is here, and it's like, okay, calm down. But it's interesting to see those people and how, like this guy's doing, he's pointing at his so-called members of the same community, and he's saying, look at me, I'm not like them. And that's such a common thing. It's so common, and I don't know. I'd love to see one of these people unironically, or not out of a false sense of humility, to show that they're humble, but I'd love to hear somebody say, I don't know. I don't know. Like their stances and the ways they justify everything that they believe seems so forced. And you just wonder, like, is everyone around me so sure about everything? It sure seems like that. Well, maybe this is the only channel you'll come across to hear, I don't know. I don't know. Someone made a comment in the past few days on one of my videos about, so they said something like, all right, so what do you believe? And I told them, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have, I lost my faith. And I think lost is a good way to say it, because it's like when I don't know, the way I like to see it is like when you lose your keys, it's not like you're consciously, you don't just like throw it into a lake and then say like, oh, I lost my key. Well, you did lose your keys, but it was your fault. It's more like something, fell out of your pocket and you're like, oh no, like where did it go? And you lost it. And there was so much time when I knew that I didn't believe anymore, but I wasn't willing to accept it. And I did what I thought I should do, in order to try to just keep going, just persevering. I thought, just one more day and maybe things will turn around. Just one more, I want to believe that things will work out, that God will help me, that God will save me in the end, and all this stuff, all these thoughts going through my head. And, and then you get to a point where it's like how much more am I supposed to do? How far am I supposed to go? Uh-oh. What is your opinion about Archbishop Lefebvre? Great guy. All right, let's keep going.
Facebook debate is more important, right? What will the world do if they don't hear from you on how I can't vote Democrat and still be a believer? Oh, blaming deceiver, bearing a name that you profane with every Samaritan you step over. Oh, Pharisee, blind to see the least of these, and you and me profess to believe the same thing. We married the same dude, we wear the same ring.
All right, so quote of the day. We married the same dude. We married the same dude. I've never heard God referred to as a dude. That doesn't sound very progressive. Shouldn't we say they? I don't know. Yeah, so obviously this is just, that's the easiest thing to do. And I heard it so many times. And it's funny because the people who are more traditional or conservative are, like when someone like this is talking with them, normally what the thing is, they say like, oh no, I don't agree with you. But like these people get so offended. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like the victim mentality. Like you have to not only experience, this hatred from people who don't agree with you, hatred, which can be debatable, maybe it's not, maybe it's just, a difference of opinion, which they turn into hate. Not only do you have to experience that, but then you have to amplify it. Then you have to spread it to the world with 152,000 views. All the people that saw this. And it's like an endless cycle. People who hear these things, they, it's like it just reinforces those ideas. Yeah, those Pharisees. Yeah. Yeah, they're the haters. They're the ones who are bad. When it's like, okay. if we were to lay down the Christian beliefs on a list, who's really following them? Who's really sticking to the letter of the law? The progressive Christians or the ones who are more traditional? And someone made a comment again a few days ago saying like, well, why don't you just find another religion? And this is why. This is why, because it's a never-ending search. Because when you search for a religion, it becomes, okay, this is me. This is, I think for most people, I don't think that I personally would be this way, but I think this is a common approach to spirituality nowadays. I don't know. You can tell me what your opinion is. But people who go in search of a religion, they come to the table with a certain set of requirements. And if the religion on the other side of the table does not conform to what they want, then they go on to the next thing. It's not, is this the truth or not? Because if it's the truth, it doesn't matter what I think, in the sense of my own perception, my own desires, my own wants, my own whatever, don't change the truth. I mean, then it's a question of, with modern philosophy, with, oh, truth is subjective. Okay, well, that's a different subject, and that's something that, if people believe that, then you can't even have a conversation with them, because you can't even have an agreement of ideas at all. Practically you can, and that's where you can help them see that truth cannot be based on subjectivity. But yeah, that's the approach. It's what fits for my lifestyle. And I was never like that. I never was trying to manipulate the system to get what I wanted out of it, or thinking, even when I left at the end, first of all, it was not something that I decided to do until a few days before I actually left. It wasn't something that I was planning on doing for months and months and months. It was something like, I got to do something today. So yeah, I decided to leave the Catholic Church, but it was like I was already gone, and I was just physically removing myself from the space. But I'm not looking for another religion. I'm not looking for my own conception of what God is, or what I think he should be, or, that just destroys the whole idea of God, because God is something that's above, that's more, that's incomprehensible. And if I can just sit here and, like a painting, like just design the God that I want, it's like, well, is that really the God that I want? The God that I need? Something that I can create? Is that the God that I want? I don't think so. I wonder how many people are going to think, oh, Francis is on his way back to religion. Maybe. Who knows? But not today. All right, let's keep going a little bit, see where this goes. I haven't seen this before. I saw the first 15, 20 seconds, and I was like, oh, I think this has some very interesting themes that we can talk about.
And so, friend, brother, sister, wife.
Sister, wife.
I take back
Is he
what
Mormon?
I said before. I do not hate you. Not because I don't feel it, but because that doesn't help anything or anyone. Don't.
So, I don't hate you, but I feel hatred towards you. Sorry, 1 second. All right, let's watch the end of this. There's only a few seconds left.
Hate the believer, hate the judgment, hate the distortion, hate the foolishness, but I do not hate you. I love you.
Okay, so it's the whole hate the sin, love the sinner. Okay. So for someone who says, you know, I don't believe in homosexual acts. I don't think that I think those are sins, which is according to Christianity. He thinks that's a sin, a judgment. It's just interesting to like take a step back, and I don't know, from my position right now, it's like, whoa.
And I wish we could talk about that word. Maybe agree on what it means and what it looks like for both of us to act on it. I see you.
Hi.
And we need you.
We? This sounds like a propaganda. Okay. All right, well, that was interesting. Thank you, John. I think it was an interesting poem. Wait, what was the one line? Oh no, what was the line? Oh no. The dude line. What was the dude line? Somebody help me. Oh no. Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay. Profess the same thing. Oh, we married the same dude. We married the same dude. Oh, it looks like I'm way overexposed. I'm white, but not that white. Alright, I'll try to figure it out another time. Alright. We married the same dude. I don't know, has anyone had any, like, what are your thoughts about that? Not marrying the same dude, but just that type of attitude that you see, like, it's not only the Christian, or in my case the Catholic, which was Christian, but anyway, not only the Catholics versus the others, but it's even like in the group. And you know, it's so funny. I don't know if I should bring this up. I'm gonna put on some more music. Another smooth transition. Oh yeah. More music. I'm gonna go a little bit ahead. All right. So the group that I was a part of was a traditional Catholic group. If you've seen my videos, you probably know who they are, but it's a traditional Catholic group. So it's not only Catholic, but it's traditional Catholic. so they follow. Oh man, this is way overexposed. That's just gonna... Sorry. So... Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to figure it out right now. Like I said, this is the first stream, so I appreciate your patience. Oh boy. Alright. I don't know, I'll figure it out later. So I'll just be super... Let me see if I can... Oh, that helped a little bit. Oh, now it looks weird. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking off at a different screen. I don't know. This is the behind the scenes. If I was professional, I'd say, I'm going on a bathroom break, and then putting on a different screen and then working on this. Alright. So it was a traditional group. And there are many traditional groups. And all of them, I don't want to say hate, because as we found out, hate is a very strong word. But they definitely strongly disagree with other traditional groups. I mean, they're all united in the fact that they're against the new way of doing things in the Catholic Church. But besides that, even that is various degrees. Some of them don't believe the Pope is the Pope, or, you know, whatever variation. But there's so many variations, and you just, like, people do this. And you see this, like, with politics, with religion. People, they become so closed off in their vision and their perspective, and they zone into something, and they waste days, months, years, you know, talking and focusing on this one thing. And you see groups, and this is why I didn't really want to bring it up, because I don't really want to associate with them, even by bringing them up on my channel. But you look at people like that that are a part of Church Militant, which is a news agency that is Catholic, more traditional Catholic, and they're going after all of these other traditional orders, especially the one that I was a part of, which is beside the point. But you just see, it's not so much what they say, because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that they say that are true, but the way that they say it, it's just like what that guy did in the video. It's like the way you say something, it questions the intention of it. And you do see like I don't want to say malice, because that implies like a positive act, but maybe like a disdain that they have towards other people. If you just look on Church Militant, all of the different head reporters or whatever they're called, their Twitter profiles, and you're like, well, at least for me, as a former Catholic, and knowing the expectations of a Catholic, especially towards the world and how they're supposed to interact with people of the world, and, you know, the grave responsibility of being a light in the world, you look at their Twitter and you think, do these people believe in God at all? there's like you just see the venom as they talk to people. Really vicious, really vicious. Well, I did have other things planned, but I think that might be the best first stream that I could have ever anticipated. I was expecting it to be a lot rougher. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I hope in the future to do more and more lives. Maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, if I can get enough things to talk about, because I don't want to just come on here and talk your ear off for nothing. You can always leave suggestions. You can send different videos my way, and I can look them up. You can send them to me on Instagram or Twitter if you want. You can go down below actually and see my different social medias, so you can send suggestions my way and I can come on here and talk and talk and talk. And maybe in the future I'll have people come on and we can have a conversation. I'd like to meet people and hear their story and yeah. So I think I need to go and feed the animals. Next time I'll try to feed them before the stream. I hear Dali, our dog, scratching at the door. So, but thanks for stopping by. Thank you for coming with this relaxing music. It like really put me in a mood. And subscribe, follow my channel if you want to help support the channel. I left my Ko-fi page link in the it's not the comment section, description, there we go, the description of the video. So I would appreciate that, and I'll see you next time. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and I'll try to do this again soon.